So let me walk you through how I analyze price action and how I analyze the order book, because these two things are the most important part of all of trading Bitcoin. First, I'll do the simpler stuff. Volume is exactly what you think it is. If you guessed, oh, is this just how many Bitcoin traded hands during that 5 minute period, then yes, you are right. As you can see, when I hover over, you can see on right over here just how many Bitcoin traded hands. And you might be wondering, so why is volume red and why is it green sometimes? That's really simple. If price moves down during that 5 minute period and stays down, it will be red. And if price moves up and stays up, then volume will be green. So as you can see, green, 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 and then red to signify price is moving down. This is just a 5 minute candlestick chart that gives me the open price, the high price, the low price, the close price, and how much percent change. This is super important. This is what I look at predominantly, how much percent change. I love that they have that feature on CryptoWatch. And my $1,000 is right over on Gemini, which is my brokerage that I use. And I only use Gemini just for orders. I use CryptoWatch for analysis. I would just use this to just put in an order and to get out of an order. I mean, to get out of a position. So let me try to explain what's going on in 1, 2, 3, 4. In these 4 things over here, that's the most complicated part and the most important, of course. So the first thing I want you guys to know is that these two are the same thing, except just this corresponds to the price chart. This is simply just the order book referencing price. So as you can see, you can actually just see the bid and the offer walls as they form. As you can see, there's a bid wall here. An offer wall here at around 27.25 right here-ish. You can see that. And you can see here there's a bid wall at around 26.45, which is here-ish is where a lot of bids are. And this is the same thing. It's just that this gives you more depth. You can zoom in, zoom out, and see the market however you want, and this just conforms to price. So it lets you analyze price with order book pretty easily. So these two things aren't that hard to figure out. They're just a derivative of this. The same exact thing, really. This is just the statistics. This is just the visual. And this is just the visual conforming to price. So now these two. Let's go over that, because these two are the most complicated. Not to explain, but more to analyze and deeply understand how they work. So first here we have order history. And this is how many Bitcoin were bought or sold by those who had market orders. So as you can see, right now, a lot of, 3 minutes ago it's 10:59. At 10:56 we had a lot of selling of Bitcoin. And then we had a period, a little bit of buying, and then we have more selling, buying, and now we're in a more of a buyer period, as you can see with this tail. And that's just all it really is. It's just market orders of the past 50 market orders that have happened, and then it goes away. It'll only show 50, because if it was to show all, then it would just probably crash your computer or make you lag and use a lot of CPU. And we don't want that. Now, the most important part, this is the second most important part, I would say. The most important part would be the order book. This shows how many bids, the green, and how many offers or asks. Offer and ask is the same thing. There are in the market. A bid is simply a limit order to buy, and an offer is simply a limit order to sell. All bids will be below last traded price. This is last traded price right here, 2678.29. All bids will be below last traded price, and all offers will always be above last traded price. And last traded price usually would bounce from the highest bid and the lowest offer, unless price actually changes. So in like these periods of just consolidation where price is unable to move because of how many orders there are that want to be filled, it consolidates and it just would jump from 0.29 to 0.28. But more importantly, okay, you might be 90% of the way there of understanding what you're looking at, but analyzing it is much, much tougher. So the first thing you want to know about is bid and offer walls. And you can see them visually too. I was talking about the offer wall here and the bid wall here. You can see, and also here, you can see it right here. I'm talking about the red part. Ignore this. Right at about 2726.41, you have a offer wall. And I would say down at around 2645, you have a bid wall, which is like right here, like I said before. And what bid and offer walls do is that basically, if you see a large bid wall, meaning that this number, let's say, grows to like 120, then there are many limit buy orders at the highest bid price, which will very likely push price upward. That's what a wall would do. It makes price go the other way. So if there's a really large bid wall here, price would likely go up here. And if there's a really large offer wall, like let's say here, this was like 500, then price would likely go down, because for price to go above and for price to actually climb, and if this was like 500, then 500 Bitcoin would either need to be bought or that order would need to be canceled, partly, for price to actually go up, because you would not be able to access any of these without going through these. That's how walls work. And it's easy to think about each one of these as a wall, with some walls stronger than others. The higher the number, the stronger the wall. On this side, this is just how many offers there are at that price level. This is just how many bids there are at that price level. This is just cumulative, hard word to say. So this is just all previous offers added together until this price. And this is just, this cumulative down here is just all bids added together at this price. So it's more important just to look at these, but cumulative can help you a bit, because cumulative is actually what is graphed. That's why they have it on CryptoWatch, because that's what they actually show here and here. That's just cumulative orders. Okay, so bid and offer walls we got through. Basically, when this gets really high, that means that it's hard for price to go down. If this gets really high, it's hard for price to go up. Cool? Okay. Now, the second thing to look for is a string of weak bids or a string of weak offers or asks. So what I'm talking about is, let's say this was like, 40, that there was a 40 bid wall, and that all of these were like 1s, 2s, and 0s, all the way up for, let's say like $30 of offers. That's very weak walls for the offers, which would mean that price would likely just shoot right through all those, because remember, if there's only one Bitcoin being offered at this price, once someone buys that, price goes up. As you can see, price just did go up again. The offer just went up. And that will continue happen until people stop wanting to buy the currency. So what you want to see, basically, to combine those two ideas of bid walls, offer walls, and also weakness, a string of weakness throughout the order book, is what you want to see is a big bid wall to form, like this to be very high, right here, and for it to hold. And then you want to see a string of just weak offers, just not many traders who are willing to sell Bitcoin at prices above market price. And that's a very good sign that price is ready to launch to the upside. And when you see that, what you also want to see is a very green order book. Remember, red means that market sell, and green means market buy. So someone market bought 5 Bitcoin at 10:58 with 55 seconds at the price of 2678.29. That was a market buy, and this was a market sell for those who already held Bitcoin. So as you can see here, at 2678.28, 5 people sold here, 5 people sold here, 2 sold here, blah blah blah. 4 or 5, a lot of selling here, and now we see a lot more green. We see a lot more people buying Bitcoin, which would weaken the asks. Because remember, the more people who buy at market price, which would be here, anyone who buys at market is going to buy at this price of 2683.64, which is going to make this number smaller, obviously, because there are less Bitcoin to sell, which makes price easier to go up. And if many people sell at market price, they're selling at this price right here, 2683.63, which would make this number smaller, which would make price easier to go down right now. And as you can see, lots of people are piling in on the buyer side right now, are beginning to pile in. This might stop, but it looks like the buyers are starting to take over, and that this might become a string of just weak offers with not many traders who are willing to sell their Bitcoin, and with many traders trying to buy Bitcoin, with this number getting really high. Okay, we have a lot of selling here, and that is reflected in price here. This is just last traded price. That's what this represents. So this is at 26.76 right now, 0.92, but that's just simply the last traded price that was here, of someone who market sold, and market sold all the way down to that price. All right, let's see. So again, what I'm looking for is I want to see a large bid wall form, and you can see that visually here too, but I like to look at the actual numbers. I want to see a large bid wall form. I want to see a lot of weak offers with not many people wanting to sell, and then I want to see a lot of green, and not, this is just looks terrible for buying right now. I want to see a lot of people who want to buy, because remember, for you to make money, you need people to buy. If you buy, you need other traders to buy above the price that you bought. And if they don't, then price will stall or go down. But if you can buy at a very good price, then you can find a price where many traders want to buy Bitcoin and get in on price, which would lead the market to go up. It's really simple supply and demand, just that it's a little more complex because of how frequent this is happening, and also because the orders are just coming in and going out so quickly. But that was the basic order book, crypto watch, how to scalp Bitcoin tutorial. But there actually is a much more advanced look at the order book.